Hi everyone, it's Jody from An Eye for Beauty, and today's Sunday, October 18th, 2020. And this message is for that week or for whenever you hear the message. Know that there's something in what's going to come through today that you need to receive, and it's for your highest good. Take what you hear that resonates and let the rest just go. You know what is best for you. So we're calling upon Archangel Metatron today. And this deck is his deck, and he is the Archangel of focus and of discipline. And he helps with slowing down time. If like you're going somewhere and you're in a rush, I always ask, just slow down the time just a little bit. And I don't know, somehow, some way, I always feel peaceful. I always get there on time. So we're pulling 3 cards today, and we're choosing card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. So decide if you want to choose a card or if you just want to listen to the whole entire message, okay? So I'm pulling the cards now. I didn't do that in advance. And we're going to start with card number 1, which really is 2 cards. And 2 cards that come up. The first card talks about codependency. And the second card talks about really the root chakra, which is the color red. And the root chakra represents safety and, standing in your power, feeling connected to the earth. And then the first card, which is codependency, key to freedom, is what the card says. So let's put the cards together. So everything that we have been experiencing right now through the last several months has really tested our foundation. And the root chakra is all about your foundation. So I'm sure you've been home a lot, and I'm sure that you have had no choice but to re-look at where you are at in your life. And if you use the analogy of a house, starting from the basement, going all the way up, so your foundation, are there any cracks in that foundation? Cracks could be anything from not believing in yourself, relationships that you have in your life, maybe a job or finances, the roof over your head, savings. There's a lot of things. And so when you take a moment and look at your foundation, and then we put the card together and talk about freedom, where in your life do you feel like you've been shackled down, that you have not been able to be free to be yourself? This opportunity has been given to all of us so that we could take the time to really step back and observe the whole situation and see where in our lives we want to do a course correction, or we want to switch something up, or we want to change something to make us feel more stable in our foundation. And if this card is the card that you chose, the 2 cards come up and they ask you, if you haven't done that, I would suggest taking time to do that for yourself. Where is it that you want to go next? And first having to look at where you've been, what you've created before you move forward. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is saying endings. So if we're putting the cards together, the first cards are telling us we had to take that time, we had to look at the foundation, we had to look at where we might be codependent, maybe in foods, maybe in relationships, maybe in situations, maybe just depending on people, or a job that you had that suddenly furloughed you, or just a routine that you had, and now it's ending. It's starting to be at the ending point. Things are starting to shift. The energy is starting to change. So now is the time for you to know, if you chose card number 2, you're at the point of ending and new beginnings are occurring. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? Those are all the things to start to consider. And then card number 3 is release, letting go. And it is this time, which is fall, with the leaf. The leaves are falling, and we are also releasing. After you did all this observation from cards number 1 and card number 2, what do you want to release now? What have you observed? What information have you received from doing that observation, being the witness of your life, looking at everything and saying, this is where I want to continue, this is where I want to course correct. Well, now that all that's risen up, what do you want to let go of? What are you ready to release? What is no longer serving you? And that's what card number 3 is asking you. And while these cards might sound very simplistic, in action, really a lot of us don't take the time to make the time to do the observing in order to take that inspired action. So if you take nothing else from this reading today, what it's really asking you to do is to spend the time to do a little observing for yourself. Spend the time in that quiet, not in judgment and analyzing, but in just stepping back and observing, seeing what is working, seeing what is not working. Before the stuff happened in March of 2020, where were you at? Do you want to continue that path? Or was all this time off that you took for your physical self, for your spiritual self, for your mental and emotional self, did you change your direction? Well then, if that's the case, release what's no longer serving you. Let it go and start moving towards what is your truth and what is coming up for you to start focusing on for your enjoyment, for your enthusiasm, for your highest good. So I wish you a great week, and I hope that this message serves you today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.